Hi, guys. This is Carrie with Fullerton Professional Organizing. And as you know, this is where we help you declutter your faith, your home, and your business. And I have a guest for you today. And I'm going to go ahead and let her introduce herself and tell us what scripture she is leaning on in this moment. Because we, Bible believers, we love all the scriptures, but sometimes we have some that we're leaning on right now in the moment. So I'm going to go ahead and let her get started.
Alrighty, well, thank you, Carrie, for having me here today. It is such a privilege and an honor to be here. So my name is Sulena Long Reece, and I'm actually I could say the executive concierge of So Unique Concierge LLC. And what we are is pretty much a concierge service for seniors, right? So older adults as well as busy executives, where we pretty much help them move from chaos to calm.
Mhm.
And our services can be anywhere from personal assistant to we also offer home organizing and professional downsizing. And then we do move management or coordination. We also offer home safety assessments. So our niche is really within that senior market or older adult market
Mhm.
where we look at each client and we curate the service for them based on their need. Because I did something that they aren't able to do or they just
Mhm.
don't want to do. And they're like, I
Yeah,
have
because
the
they have
discretionary income. Why not just pay somebody to get it done?
Yeah, because they do have a little bit of a different need than the regular people that we organize for because they are a little bit older. They're able to do a little bit less than they used to, or they're retired. They worked so hard they don't want to anymore, and they just need a little different type of help and
Yep.
support,
And
correct?
support. Yeah, correct.
So
Correct.
how did you
Exactly.
get started? And then we'll get back into what you do.
Yes, so I got started actually. So back in 2015,
Hmm.
I was, you know, God just so happened to, my mom decided after living in the US for 20 years, right?
Mhm.
Decided that, you know what, we're originally from the Caribbean island of
Mhm.
Trinidad and Tobago. And she said, look, I had enough of this cold weather in New York City. I want to go back to my warm Caribbean island. You know what I mean? And I said, Mom, if that's what your heart is telling you to do, then I am definitely your champion and cheerleader. So we went ahead and of course she had lived in the unit that she had lived in for probably 20 something years.
Mm.
So I was then tasked as an only child of
Mhm.
going through the whole downsizing process, right?
Mhm.
So I downsized her. She moved back to my country, but then within a year of her moving back, she became pretty ill. So I decided, you know what, if the ball was in the other court, and right, if the ball was in her court,
Mhm.
she will definitely drop everything and accommodate me. So
Yes.
I dropped everything, Carrie. I packed up, I sold the car, right? I rented out my space, and I was like, I'm going back home to take care of my mama. So I
Oh,
dropped everything, went
yeah.
back home, and then the family home, I retrofitted it,
Mm-hmm.
right? So that she would be able to age in place. So that's putting in the
Oh,
grandpas, that
awesome.
type of stuff.
Yes.
3 years later, I came back to the US.
Mm-hmm.
And I said to myself, do you really want to go back to corporate America after enjoying the freedom of doing your own thing?
Mm-hmm.
So this is what I did. I drove around for probably 6 months, and in my car, I put some usher gloves. And I said, God, wherever it is that you want me to serve, I'm available. Right?
Oh,
And
yes.
every opportunity that presented itself, I would come out with my usher gloves and I would serve. And then he started to download, listen, daughter, you have some gifts and you need to use them,
Yes.
right? And
Yes.
that's how So Unique Concierge was birthed.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, did you have a scripture that you use with your business, or do you have a scripture that
So
you're
So I have a scripture that I use for with my business, but I can tell you the scripture that really resonate with me, and it's my
Mhm.
foundational scripture.
Yes.
See, Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. Trust in the Lord with all of your
Mm,
heart
yes.
and lean not to your own understanding. Because when I came back, that's what I had to do. It
Uh,
was truly a faith walk, right? Because I was like, I know I do not want to go back to corporate America, but
mhm.
Lord, I trust you to reveal what's my next assignment.
Awesome. Yes. Because
Exactly.
it, we don't we know what we feel like we're called to do, but we just never know if it's going to take off. And thank
Exactly.
goodness for you and I, it has taken off.
Yeah.
Now, so explain to our audience what are some of the things that you do for that community of clients. Sorry.
Yeah. No problem. So for the most part, really and truly our niche, our primarily niche market are, like I said, older adults and
Yes.
seniors. So really and truly we hold their hand and take them through that process
Mm-hmm.
of the downsizing process,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because the conversation I always have with them is, let this be the last gift that you give to your loved ones.
Mm-hmm.
Because be courageous enough to
Mm-hmm.
make the decisions, right, of where you want, being courageous and empowered as to where you want your things to go. And don't leave that decision to your loved ones because now they are dealing with what? The grief of losing you
Mm-hmm.
and now making decisions, right, of things that you place value on them. They don't place the same value.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but because you can now be empowered, make that decision now. So therefore, they can focus completely on your transition and they know everything else you've taken care of.
Yes, and that's what we are going through with my parents right now. We've already divided things, and then
Mm-hmm.
they had an estate sale, and my dad lives in an apartment near my mom, but my mom's in a senior living facility. Mhm.
Yes, so that's good. So then you can relate firsthand, right, in terms of that process.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Yes, and just for the audience sake, my dad and my mom were winding up in the hospital at the same time. So that's why she's in the home,
Yes,
he's not. But
it's not right.
I just didn't want anyone to think we abandoned my mom.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
But
Yeah.
yes, I do. I understand. They just have unique needs,
Mm-hmm.
especially as they get older and aren't able to move around as safely as they were before. So you
Exactly.
do a safety assessment. What does the safety assessment look like?
So the safety assessment is really walking through that whatever may be that place that they
Mm-hmm.
call home, right? So
Mm-hmm.
whether it's a mother-in-law suite, whether it's an accessory dwelling unit,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's you know what I
Apartment.
mean, exactly an apartment, whether it's a condo, whether it's whatever is that place that
Mm-hmm.
they calling home, ideally is to empower them so that they are able to maintain their independence.
Mm-hmm.
So the safety assessment entail walking through the
Mm-hmm.
entire home and then saying, hey, based on whatever may be your current ailment, or if you don't have any, as you age,
Mm-hmm.
these are the things that you need to put in place so that way you can age and maintain your independence for as long as possible,
Right.
right? And minimize the risk of falling within your home or
Yeah,
getting injured in some way.
that's
So that's
good.
what the safety assessment entails.
Good. That's awesome. So, how long have you been, well, you said since 2015 you've been
So
in business?
actually, yeah, so I started, interestingly, I started the business in my country of Trinidad and Tobago. And it
Oh,
was on
okay.
my mom's, right? Because, I was always very forward thinking in terms of legacy planning. So I started the first location of my business in Trinidad and Tobago on my mom's birthday, December 16th, 2016.
Okay.
And then 3 years later, I came back to the US in
Mm-hmm.
2018. And then 3 years later, on January 15th, which is Martin Luther King birthday, I started the US location.
Awesome.
And I
Awesome.
started that, yeah, in Maryland, Washington, D.C. area.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Then on my birthday, I expanded to Brooklyn, New York.
Oh, okay.
Right. And then on my son's birthday, I expanded to Tampa.
Tampa.
So Tampa, Florida. Hmm.
Oh, okay. All right. Now, do you have an employee that took over for you in your country where your mom is?
So yes, so I have an employee that took over. So there's someone that's a team lead or managing there.
Hey,
Exactly.
that
And
is
then we
so
have
cool.
team leads at each location. I live in Tampa, so I'm the team lead in Tampa,
Mhm.
but then my son is the team lead in Brooklyn, New York, and then I have a team lead in Maryland. So it
Oh, that
runs as a well enough. I wouldn't say well, but
right.
well enough,
That,
right?
that is
Grease
so
engine.
that is so neat. That is great. Well, what are some things that you would tell yourself? Um, what are some things you've learned about the business along the way?
So a lot of things. One thing as in starting a business, right? You start out and you start off, I guess, with one vision, but
Mm-hmm.
as you grow and
Yes.
learn and evolve, right? There are many different iterations to that
Mm-hmm.
business.
Mm-hmm.
So, for instance, when we started out, we started out with a very broad brush. It was not specifically in organizing. It was like, okay, almost like I will be the bonus daughter,
Mm-hmm.
right? Who's not here, but I'm here to support you.
Yes.
So anything across that where they needed support. So
Mm-hmm.
whether that was picking up stamps, whether that was medication, whether it was, meal planning, whether
Mm-hmm.
it was companionship, we started there. But
Mm-hmm.
then you begin to realize there's some things where I absolutely love this aspect of the business.
Yeah.
So, or maybe financially it's probably more lucrative in this area. So a number of things. And as a result, you evolve and another iteration. So now
Mm.
I feel like we're at that place which but we really have it secured in the
Yeah.
sense that
And
I know
honed in.
exactly, yes, exactly what it is that we want to focus on. And
Mhm.
that's what we've been thriving in and then expanding one location at a time.
Okay. Now, tell me a little bit more about your move management. Do you strictly just do the decluttering and packing and unpacking, or are there some other things that you do within that? Because some just do that, and then some do much more.
Yes, so we do all of those, but then we also do as far as the estate sale if it's needed,
Oh,
right?
okay. So you do the
Exactly.
estate sale, or do you have
Except
hire someone else to do it? You do
So
it yourself?
depending, it all depends. So
Uh-huh.
each client is kind of different. If
Yeah.
if it is that it's a lot of items, then we actually have partnerships with a couple of
Hmm.
organizations where we have them come in,
Oh,
right? And then they do it. If it's something on a smaller scale, then we take it in-house and we will do the estate sale.
oh, okay. Awesome.
Right?
Yeah, I have someone here that I recommend, but I have not yet done that. I'm not sure that that one is my forte, but
Right.
I
Yeah,
do get it. I do understand it.
yeah.
Uh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So, man, you do a lot for
Yeah.
your clients. Anything else
We
that
do offer the space planning aspect because my background is interior design. So we do
oh,
offer the space planning aspect. And I can tell you, one of the ways that we really differentiate ourselves, from a lot of, let's say, other move managers
mm-hmm.
is so we replicate one of the rooms in their new home exactly as the old home because there's something called relocation stress syndrome.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, and the younger version of us, we experience stress when we're moving, but not to the extent as an older adult, right? Because remember, a lot of times they've lived in that space for a much longer time.
Mm-hmm.
So in replicating it in the new home, what we encourage them to do is within the first 30 to 60 days of moving into that space, spend as much time in that room that's replicated because it helps reduce or minimize relocation stress syndrome
Oh,
because it's a
that's interesting.
familiar, right? Exactly. It's
Good.
more familiar. Exactly. Yeah.
I like that. Okay. All right. Well, now tell me this. We're going to kind of segue a little bit. What
Hmm.
does a professional organizer, what do you do to relax?
Oh,
Not
all righty.
working.
So a couple of things that I love to do to relax. Like I love music, right? I love music. So I can create a playlist. So I have my different playlists. Yeah, I have my different playlists. So I would create a playlist and then I am just like in full party mode, just playing the music, right? And dancing through the house and clicking my heels. And a lot of times, I would have, let's say my daughter or my husband come home and they're like, "You having a full-fledged party in here?" Yes. Who's a part of the party? Me, myself, and I. Three people. Yeah. So that's one of the things that I do. I have my massage therapist. So I have my massage therapist on standing order, right? Exactly. And what I love is that my massage therapist comes to the home.
Oh, that's
So
lovely.
yeah, because one of the things I always tell people, man, the worst thing is to have a massage and have to get back in the car and drive yourself home and deal with all of that stimuli, right? I'm
Yes.
like, no, 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 no. Exactly. So
Stress
that's
going in,
eh,
relax, and
relax.
get stressed going home.
Kind of going home. Precisely so. Precisely so. And then I can tell you one thing I absolutely have done for years, and it's became even more concretized since moving into being an entrepreneur.
Mhm.
On Sunday, I tell all of my family members, no, and you're gonna laugh, Carrie. All of my family members know, right? That listen, that's my time to spend with the Lord
Yes,
and for self-care and soul care. So
yes.
I tell them if it's something going on, you have an option. You have options actually with an S. You
Mm-hmm.
can call Jesus and call 911. Don't call me.
Mm-hmm.
Just don't that's my time. I
Yes.
am on Sundays for me to fill my cup to the
Mm-hmm.
overflow, right?
Mm-hmm.
It should be flowing onto my saucer because I'm ready to serve again on Monday.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. My time in the word, I tell people my time in the word is self-care. The
Yes.
Bible is my self-care. Jesus
Yes.
is my self-care.
Self-care. Yeah.
Because if we don't, yeah,
Yeah.
it's self-care. Just like organizing is also self-care.
It is
You know,
self-care.
um,
Exactly.
there are things, and I was just on my last recording that I did. I told everyone, organization now is not just a luxury anymore. It's a
Mm-mm. It's a
necessity. It
necessity.
is a
Exactly.
necessity. It helps our brains relax. It
Yep.
helps us not have to, brain fatigue or decision fatigue. Now everybody works outside the home.
Mm-hmm.
Now, of course, now we have some that still work in the home, but
Yeah.
what I mean is our work keeps us busy, and it's nice to have an organized home. It doesn't always have to look magazine
Right.
or
We
picture.
say
It just
totally agree with you.
function and be easy to clean up and easy
Yes.
to reset. So I love that. Well, now one of my last questions is because I want everybody to know that we're normal, just like anybody else. We may be
Yes.
organized,
Yep.
but what is one area that is still, I'm not going to say it's super messy, but an
Mhm.
area that you consider messy that you still work on? And
Yeah.
then on the other hand, what is an area that you're the most proud of in your
Okay. I like that. I love that. So actually, I'll give you, I always say that I love to give bonuses. So I'll give you two of the areas that I'm really messy in. And it's always an area of, oh, Selena, you need to work on that. You really need to work on that. And I have one, two, three, five email boxes.
Oh,
Oh my goodness. It's like I I I almost come to okay, when are you gonna get that part of your life together? You know what I mean? Exactly.
yes. And I can understand that because
Yeah,
we go into our emails for a specific reason, and we don't
right.
want to sit there and clean it up after we've done what we've
We've done what
needed
we
to
need to,
do.
exactly.
Yes, I see that. I don't have that many, but I do struggle to
Yeah.
delete all my old stuff on that.
Stuff. Right.
Yeah, I
Exactly.
understand that completely.
Yep, yep. So
Yeah,
that's one area that's definitely. And then I would say another area that it's not as bad, right,
yeah.
as the email, but it definitely can deal with, some loving care
Mhm.
is my pictures. So
Mm,
I capture a screenshot.
mhm.
I'm driving down the road, right? I see maybe an affiliate partner that I would be great for my clients. I take a picture of that.
Oh,
If
yes.
I yes, so that is forget it. That I would say is at the medium level of disorganization, right? I'm like, okay, one day when you get to heaven, you get it together.
One day
One
we will
day,
get it
exactly.
all worked out.
All worked out, exactly. And
Oh,
then an area that I can say that absolute, so I'll give you a bonus again.
yes.
So one area is my closet. Like uh, everything is color coded, everything is
Mhm.
in bins. It's your home edit version, right?
Oh,
Of
okay.
organizing.
Yeah,
Exactly.
awesome.
Because I really love going in and having to put no effort into really
Mhm.
thinking what I'm gonna wear, right? So I can access everything pretty easy. So my closet, that's one area. My
Awesome.
refrigerator is the other area. I remember a
Mm.
friend coming to my house and saying, every time I open your refrigerator, I feel like it's a Sears commercial. Because the water's in this area, there's a bin for this, right? All the labels are facing the front, you know what I mean?
Yes,
Exactly.
yes,
So,
and I love
so
that. I,
mhm.
yeah, my refrigerator would stay more organized if I lived alone.
Right, right, exactly,
But
exactly,
yes, I have
exactly.
labels. I have
Yes,
to go behind my, I have to go
yes.
behind my family and grab the salsa from this shelf and put it where it
Put
says
it back
this shelf.
there. Yes.
But yes, I love that.
Yeah.
Well, now we've come to the part, and we will have this in the description so you don't really have to worry about spelling everything out because you're going to send me a picture of yourself for the thumbnail
Okay.
and all the descriptions of where people can find you. But go ahead and tell them where they can find you. You kind of mentioned it already that you
Mhm.
have a few different locations with a few different people, your son in Chicago, right?
In New York, my son in New
Right.
York,
Okay.
right? Another team member in Maryland, and then I'm in Tampa, and then we have the international location in Trinidad and Tobago.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yep. So the best place to find us would be, I
Mhm.
guess, at the website,
Yes.
right? Which is SOU and then the word concierge, like hotel concierge. So CONCIERGE.com. That would
Mhm.
be the best place to find us. And then there you'll find all the locations on that website.
Yes, and then they
And
can find you on Facebook from
and
there.
they can also find me on Facebook, exactly, and Instagram as well. Yeah.
Well, awesome. Well, all right. Before we end, is there anything you didn't get to say that I didn't ask? Anything you want to leave with the audience before we sign off?
No, I would say what okay, so I would say to the person who's looking at this, who want to get into the industry,
Mhm.
right? I would definitely encourage them to take that step. Step out of the boat. Step
Mhm.
out in faith and step out of the boat and just see where God leads you,
Yeah,
right?
because their
Because
business doesn't have to look like yours,
it
and it
doesn't.
doesn't have to look like mine.
Exactly, exactly. It doesn't. They can kind of curate, right, a specific niche based on wherever they feel led to serve,
Yes,
right?
yes.
And then I would say for the person who is looking to get organized, let me tell you, we can take all the pictures in the world
Hmm.
and you can say it looks beautiful and you love the labels and you love the bins and you love how everything is color coded. But let me tell you, the the internal, the lifting of the weight,
Hmm.
that cannot be captured in a picture at all.
Mm-mm.
It is a release and you have such a good feeling and you'll find that you're able to get your joy back and your creativity, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? And exactly, and your mind is not as cluttered, so we
yeah,
can't capture that in a picture.
yes,
I
yes.
would say step out as well and
Hmm.
experience it. Make the investment in yourself.
Yes. Very good. Well, thank you so much because I've enjoyed talking to you. I know the audience is going to enjoy. Sorry, can't roll my chair apparently.
Uh-oh.
They're going to enjoy this so much, and I appreciate you. And guys, come back. We're going to have a whole year worth of information for you and more organizers to share all the ways that they do business and the way they help you, the client. And I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching and listening.